guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm covering 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, Season 1, Episode 12. I found this episode to be kind of meh. There were some good parts and other parts were kind of, I was pretty indifferent. But with that being said, let's jump into it. So we'll start off with Paul and Karina. So they decide to move in the apartment, the cheaper apartment, which I was rooting for because I don't know how they would be able to afford an apartment for $11.70 a month, especially with Paul not working. So the big fight this episode was Paul not being able to find work in order to take care of the child that's coming. So it seems like Paul's mechanism for arguing is to run away, and this time he decided to run away into a literal dog house. That house looked like it was for a dog. It looked too small to be a shed. You have to crawl to get into there. So he went in there in order to calm himself down because he was tired of Karina basically telling him that he needs to find a job in order to support the family. And right now, Paul's method of finding a job is just to ask around if people need work. If they're looking for a worker. So Karina mentioned Paul, maybe you should start learning Portuguese, which for all the time he's been down there and planning on living, he should have been learning Portuguese. And he's like, yeah, I'll get on it soon. And I'm like, when is soon, Paul? Because first of all, this baby's coming now. And second of all, you should have been learning Portuguese from time. So Karina is kind of telling Paul that you're mad and you're accusing me of cheating on you because you're upset that someone better would come along and snatch me up. Which Karina, calm down with that. Once again, they talk about divorce, and here's the ring, and you have maybe 1 or 2 times to bring up divorce when we're married. After that, we're done. Because you're not really in it for you to just talk about ending it. It seems like Karina puts up a front in front of Paul. But then, while she went into the room, she kind of broke down and cried. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where they're going to get this magical money from in order to take care of their child. There's so much money you could have saved. But Paul is claiming that if he goes to America, he'll be raking in the money, which Paul was complaining that he wasn't making enough money when he was in the States. He's not making enough money to even send for her. So there's a lot that they're dealing with, and I am done with their story, and I'm done seeing them on the show in general. Anyways, next we have Jenny and Sumit. So Sumit told Jenny that he has to go and stay with his parents in order for them to basically get off his back about leaving and going to this job in another city. So since he's left her, Jenny has been bored. She's been stir crazy. She just stays in the house all day, and because of safety reasons, she's not allowed to be at night. She's not allowed to be out at night. And then because of her lack of knowing the language and stuff like this, it's hard for her to communicate where she is. She doesn't seem like she's in a English speaking city. It seems like she's in a place where most people don't speak English. So the first thing she decides to do is see if she can get a job. With Jenny, before you leave, isn't that stuff your research? And everyone knows that, or I knew that you're going to need a visa. This is not something, unless you want to work under the table, this is not something that you just go to them and fill out a form and they start paying you. So she goes to this place, and she goes to a man that doesn't speak English. We've seen it time and time again on 90 Fiance. You have a phone, you have a translator app, you get the app and you start translating stuff. There is no reason why Jenny thought that, like, if she spoke to him in English in a language he doesn't speak, that he was gonna that she was gonna understand what he was saying, and he was gonna understand what she was saying. In the language, they do pronounce certain words in English, which I was catching on, but Jenny wasn't hearing any of that. So then she's like, okay, whatever. She's at home, she's bored, so she decides to go to an internet cafe at night, because it's day in America at the time, to go speak with her daughter. So she ends up going, and all seems well. I don't know whether the area is safe or not, but she was able to get there, figure out how to use the equipment, and then go home with no problems. So it's been a week, and then Sumit, I don't know if I'll call it visits her, because I don't know if he lives there anymore, lives with her anymore. But he comes for a few hours to spend time with her. Well, she tells him that, like, yo, well, she didn't tell him like that, but she's like, I was waiting for you, I couldn't wait any longer, and I started doing my own thing. He starts freaking out because she went out at night as a blonde hair, blue-eyed woman, white woman, and blah blah blah. I don't think Sumit is actually understanding the fact that she is a foreigner in this country by herself, and she thought that you would be the person that she'll have for her to lean on and to help and stuff like this, but then you pick up and leave. So what is she supposed to do with herself? She can't stay home all day. She has to, like, live life, especially if she's planning on living in this country forever. So she's actually at least proactively trying to look for a job and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that, but Sumit needs to be honest with his family and be like, yo, I'm grown. This is my girl and I want us to be together. So it is what it is. I know it's easier said than done, but something to that tune needs to happen. So next we have Tiffany and Ronald. So they've been married for a week, which they did everything ass backwards, but, like, that's your life, not mine. And they're looking for a home. Ronald is going to start working at the wellness center, which is good, at least he has a job, but he's not going to be making a lot of money. So they're trying to look for a home within their means, which is totally normal and fine. The only thing is, you're going to have to look in a part, and maybe not the best part, in South Africa because of the money that you have. So they look for this place, and I'm sorry, the realtor is like one of the worst realtors ever. You're supposed to upsell your clients on their home, on a home or whatnot. She was like downselling everything. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, when they break in. It wasn't even like if someone were to break in. It was like when they break in, scream, and like, I want to keep my son on the bottom floor because if someone comes, they need to know. Like, why would anybody want to live there? Why would anyone want to rent something from you? Like, what happened to, like, oh, you know, like, it's not that bad. Basically the point of view that Ronald had. She was just basically saying the worst things ever, and obviously it scared Tiffany, and it made her not want to move in that complex, and made her debate whether she still should consider living in South Africa, which I'm like, girl, you're doing things backwards. She also is now thinking about her son and thinking about, like, if she could really see him living here, because you'd have to change the way he's used to living, and it's a more unsafe way, because he's, as she mentioned, he's not able to go ride his bike outside. He's not able to go walk to the neighbor's house and what he's used to doing. And if he decides he doesn't want to be there, she realizes that she might have to send him back. So they're coming off as like okay couple and stuff like this. Then Tiffany throws in, oh, like we're trying to start a family like tomorrow. And I'm like, you don't know where you're gonna live. He's not making a lot of money, but you're trying to bring the child into this world. Like, what's wrong with these people? It's not like you're 60. It's not like you need someone to tote an egg for you. You're still very young. You can't wait even 6 months or a year to start a family. You guys are building this relationship on shaky ground already, because he literally graduated his rehab, and then he gets married like the next week, and all this stuff happens. So these people don't give themselves time to chill. They're just like go 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 type of thing. So hopefully, I know in present day she does have her baby, but I don't know if she has her baby in South Africa or in America. Hopefully it's in America, because it doesn't seem like she's going to like living in South Africa. Anyways, last but not least, we have Jihoon and Devon. So as we discussed, Jihoon wasn't able to come. Devon has a planned C-section, and Devon's mom sets up a camera for her to not only record but to video chat with Jihoon and his parents so he can watch the birth of his baby. It was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful moment to see their son Taeyang, which, if you like South Korean music and you like the musical act Big Bang, you know there's a I was gonna say cast member, a band member called Taeyang. He is so hot. They named their son Taeyang. Even though I feel like the way Jihoon pronounces it, it sounds weird. It doesn't sound like Taeyang. But when you hear Devon say it, it sounds like it. So, at least the baby is Asian, because I had questions. Anywho, she has the baby, and she's kind of disappointed that Jihoon couldn't be there, because who wouldn't want their baby father to be there? And Jihoon, I felt bad for him, because he was kind of debating whether he was a bad father or not. He felt he's gonna feel this guilt for the rest of his life because he wasn't there, and like he wasn't content just watching his son get born on a computer screen. He looks like he really wants to actively try to not really, he wants to try to understand fatherhood and be the best father he could be. His family is very supportive, and seems like they were very, very happy and excited to see the baby. Jihoon finally makes it down to wherever they live, Utah or whatever, and it was nice to see him interact with the baby. He looks so excited coming in, and I feel like he's eager to learn, which is a good sign. But I agree with Devon when she, once again, asked backwards, is talking about, I don't know if I'm ready to move to South Korea with this man that I barely know, and blah blah blah. I do think that Jihoon needs to prove himself to her, because it's one thing being my man, and it's another thing being the father of my child. Hopefully he wants to be an active father, and hopefully he takes to the ups and downs of fatherhood. So we didn't see two of the couples this episode, and I was kind of sad because I did want to see what happened with Laura and Aladdin. I don't like that they don't show all the couples, but I guess for sake of time they can't. But it seems like next episode is supposed to be a little bit more spicier, because this episode was like meh. So that concludes my recap of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way Season 1 Episode 12. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.